Hey, it's Colleen.
Hi, it's Kate.
And it's Megan.
And we're the
Three Scheme Queens. Join us as we discuss popular hoaxes and give you our comedic take on what is fact and what is fiction. If you have a sense of humor and an open mind, come take this journey with us.
We'll tell you what we think, and we'll try to prove it to you.
Is this thing on?
Hey, guys.
Hey guys,
Hiya.
what's up?
1, 2, 3.
Welcome back. It's the Three Scheme Queens all together again.
Three Scheme Queens.
We're back. She's back.
Episode 3 of the season.
S2E3.
Yeah.
S2S2E3.
Season 2. Season 2 of the season.
Oh, S2S2
E3.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like it's a little confusing.
You know what also? This is just episode 249.
Right.
We won't yap too much about this. We will get right into our
Drink check.
Drink check.
Yes, we have a Russian theme here, as I teased last week.
Yeah.
So the
Drink
drink.
what Russian sound like?
Yeah.
I was thinking actually that when we did the other Russian episode,
I didn't do a Russian accent.
you did not do Russian.
Yeah. Oh my God. That feels like a missed opportunity.
Here's your chance this week, okay?
Okay.
So
There you go. That's good. Katerina. Okay.
Okay.
we're having the Reagan meets Gorbachev. I discovered this on Reddit.
Yeah. Megan didn't even make me one. I just sipped hers.
She watched me make it and she was like, no.
I will not.
And to be honest, it's not bad. It tastes like bourbon with a little bit of juice in it.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
but it's so
But
strong.
I'm gonna be honest, I was skeptical about mixing bourbon with vodka.
Yeah.
It feels wrong.
You really can't taste the vodka.
No, and typically I can taste vodka and things, so
It's
it's not bad, but it does feel like I'm gonna have to sleep here tonight. Yeah.
it's supposed to be sort of like a take on a mint julep. So it's bourbon. We used Eagle Rare,
Eagle Rare.
and then I just had
A Russian vodka.
I just have Absolute. So that's what I used. Absolute. And then I had a little splash of the crowberry liqueur that I have left over from Iceland, which again Kate was a little skeptical about, but it's fine. It just adds a little
It's just
Sweet.
a little something.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what crowberry is.
it's like a blueberry. It's
Oh.
it's endemic to Iceland.
Oh.
And then some mint from the garden and just a little bit of simple syrup.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not it's not like a tall boy
Yeah.
or anything. You're not like sipping these while you're day drinking. Or
What are they called?
well, highballs and lowballs.
Yeah, a tall boy's a beer. Highball.
Highball.
I love a tall boy.
So yeah, it's pretty good. If you like bourbon, it just is like it again. It's like bourbony, and
I just feel like Bourbon Boy would feel like it's blasphemous
to mix
mix
vodka.
vodka and bourbon.
This is the recipe.
I know.
Reagan meets Gorbachev.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Who's Gorbachev?
Somebody from Russia.
Tear down that wall.
Right.
No, Gorbachev was who the would be a dictator. He was who was in charge of the USSR, Russia, when Reagan was president.
After
And he
no
put up a
before
wall. He put up,
before Putin.
yeah, quite. This
Is
is
he
like,
the-
this is like 80s,
Oh.
89 I think is when
How
Reagan
long
said,
has Putin been in though?
Gorbachev was the leader of the Soviet Union from 1985 to 1990. So back when it was still the Soviet Union. But we just know
Okay.
Reagan said, yeah, but I just know, in 1987, that was the year when Reagan went to Berlin. And he said, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Oh,
And that's why
and Putin
that's
got
why
in office.
Reagan's statue in the Capitol has the Berlin Wall on it.
Yes.
I understand.
Wait a second. So when Reagan was president, East and West,
We're divided.
and then they
Tore down the wall.
wow, that wasn't that long ago.
Mm-mm.
Why does everything feel so long ago?
The
I mean,
Berlin
it
Wall
was over 40 years.
You know, it's not that long ago that America became a country. If you really think about it.
250 years next year.
In
Yeah.
comparison to England, yeah.
So, no, it says that the Berlin Wall had divided the city since 1961. And anyway, yeah, it's just like the famous line because it's all about, this was all like during the Cold War and communism and being like, tear down this wall. And it was supposed to be like this representation of like, you know, anti-communism.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's your calling history lesson for the week.
That history lesson for the week. So let's get into the story. I actually discovered the story when I was researching the Dyatlov Pass hikers.
Yeah.
And when I was on Reddit looking through that one, people were like, oh my gosh, but what about the Russian divers? I was like, what's this about? So that's how I discovered the story.
Yeah.
Went down the rabbit hole. So let me tell you about it. In the 1970s and 80s, the USSR had a dedicated branch of the Navy researching anomalous phenomena, which used Soviet submarines to track USOs, unidentified submersible objects,
Right.
which we talked about last season.
Right.
In the season, in the Black Sea, the Baltic Sea, Lake Baikal, and the Arctic Ocean.
Okay.
These objects allegedly moved at impossible speeds, changed directions instantly, and were seen emerging from or diving into the water without creating splash disturbances.
Whoa.
Then, in 2009, a number of documents related to the USSR research into UFOs and USOs revealed the story of the Lake Baikal Swimmers. The declassified reports claimed that 7 Navy divers on a training mission in Lake Baikal, the world's oldest and deepest lake, had encountered mysterious humanoid beings underwater.
Humanoid.
These figures, which came to be known as the Baikal Swimmers, were 9 to 10 feet tall, wearing tight silver suits with umbrella-like helmets on their heads,
Whoa.
but lacked scuba gear or breathing apparati.
Oh.
The divers told their superiors, who instructed them to capture one. So the divers again made contact with these aquatic beings, but failed to capture one, as a sudden and powerful force allegedly repelled them. As a result, the divers all were propelled to the surface, leading them to suffer from decompression sickness.
Okay.
3 of the divers died as a result.
You know, decompression sickness is when you get when nitrogen.
Girl, you are jumping into the story.
Oh,
So
sorry.
pause. You can talk about that later.
Okay.
This is my intro. But what were the swimmers really? Extraterrestrial? Unknown sea creatures? Perhaps one of the many species endemic only to Lake Baikal? Or is this just another urban legend?
Suspicious.
Has anyone heard of this?
No.
So no-
Absolutely never.
I'm interested.
So no opinions, but you're interested.
no opinions, but except for my
She can't wait to talk to you guys about the bends.
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know it was called the Bends.
So Lake Baikal, well, I'm going to just tell you about this because this, even if we had no other mystery, just learning about this lake was enough to like creep me out.
Right. Okay.
So-
Where's Lake Baikal?
I'm so happy you asked.
Oh.
It's in Siberia,
Mm.
Russia.
Every time you've been saying it, I want to say, Baka!
Like a bird?
Yeah.
I'm glad.
It's in Russia, but it says like the border of Mongolia. But I mean, we think about Siberia, we think that is like rough.
Cold.
Yeah, it's rough.
Frigid.
Isn't that like what we used to say as kids? Like, where do you going to Siberia?
Yeah.
Wasn't that like a
when
thing?
you're banish someone to Siberia,
Yeah,
they misbehave or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so this lake is the largest freshwater lake by volume in the world. It measures 395 miles by 49 miles, with a surface area the size of Belgium. So if we just look at the surface area, this is only the 7th largest lake, but it is the deepest lake in the world, with a maximum depth of 5,387 feet.
Holy
It
crap.
holds about 20% of the world's unfrozen freshwater. And so this lake is so deep, it's deeper than most oceans. And okay, so it's so deep that many military subs can't even go down to the bottom.
Whoa.
Okay, very deep.
Bro.
Also, what makes this lake interesting is that so most of our lakes are created from we talked last week.
Glaciers.
Yeah, we talked last week about the glaciers and the glaciers.
Yeah.
So glaciers melting, that's how we got our lakes. This one is different. This was created by tectonic plates separating
Oh,
between Europe and Asia.
my gosh.
I love plate tectonics.
You know who got to snorkel between the tectonic plates in
You
Iceland?
did?
That is so cool, Megan.
Me. That was I got to be honest, shout out to Lindsay who listens to the episode. She was like, I found this thing where we swim in Iceland between the tectonic plates and you have to get all like warm weather, snorkel gear and stuff. And Rachel and I had zero interest. We were trying to be good friends. And then it was like
The
really
coolest
the
thing.
coolest thing.
So cool.
Did you see any aliens?
No, we weren't deep. We weren't very deep though. It was kind of shallow waters. So this lake was created 20 to 30 million years ago,
Whoa.
making it also one of the oldest lakes in the world.
This is so cool.
Yeah. Despite the brutal and inhospitable conditions of the lake, the freshwater ecosystem seems to thrive. This is likely thanks in part to the hydrothermal vents and springs. So there are higher than normal oxygen levels in the water. And usually when deeper you go into water, the less oxygen there is. But that's not the case in this lake.
Something must
Because of the
be-
vents?
Yes. So it's so
Unsettled.
highly oxygenated that the animals all grow into these massive animals. Like
Oh my gosh, that's
like in-
so
what's-
cool.
like-
they're like on steroids
Are
because
they-
they have so much oxygen.
Are they found anywhere else? Like, is it?
I'm so happy you asked. No, there are animals that are only found in this lake.
What's
I'm
an
going
Wait a
example?
second. Okay.
to tell you about them.
Oh,
So a lot more animals can survive in this lake, and again, they grow to be much larger because of all this oxygen. There are over 1,500 species of animals, 1,000 plant species, and again, most of these species aren't found anywhere else on Earth.
that's crazy.
So I'm going to tell you about the animals shortly, but let me get back on track with the USO.
Okay.
So in July 2009, there was a declassification of Soviet documents surrounding UFO reports. This declassification is kind of what's credited for a number of these stories coming to light I'm going to talk about. And there were a lot of encounters in and around Lake Baikal dating back to the 1950s. So there's a story where a submarine detected 6 disc-shaped objects coming toward them at 265 miles per hour.
Oh my
In the
gosh.
water?
Yeah, they said they just raced them and then they just sat there. And then the submarine freaked out, so they surfaced. And when they surfaced, they looked at their periscope and they saw the lights leave the lake and take off into the sky. And so
Whoa.
they thought, was this a squadron of extraterrestrials?
Right.
In 1977, the Soviet Academy of Sciences had a submersible which reported seeing a USO radiating a yellow light above the ocean floor. So they were the Soviets had purchased these 2 research vessels from Canada, the Pisces 2 and the Pisces 7.
Oh, I'm a Pisces.
The Pisces 7 was a mile down in the lake, and they shut off their external lights. They finished whatever they were doing. They turned off their lights, but they were like, wow, it's still illuminated down here. What's that about? And they looked out their little window, and there was this bright yellow
Oh my
glow.
glowfish.
And then,
Some bioluminescence.
Yeah,
the light source raced off.
Whoa.
I bet it's a fish.
When they returned to the surface, they said, hey, was the Pisces 2 down there also? Was it their light we were seeing? They said, no, the Pisces 2 is sitting here. It is not submerged at all. In fact, the Pisces 2 could not have tolerated a dive at this depth of 1,400 meters. So, no, you were the only ones down there.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of USOs down in Lake Baikal.
Exactly. But today we're going to talk about, again, the most famous story. So this event allegedly happened in 1982. A number of Russian Navy divers were participating in a training exercise at 50 meters, which is 164 feet. They're doing the exercise. It's all routine. And then they kind of feel like they're being watched.
I hate that feeling.
And then they see 3 figures appear.
Oh my God.
These figures were bizarre-looking swimmers dressed in silvery reflective suits,
Mermaids.
wearing protective helmets, which seemed to be fully opened,
Mermaids.
exposing them to the surrounding water. These helmets were described as looking like an open umbrella over the creature's head. The figures were 9 to 10 feet tall, and they said they just kind of stared at us. We looked at them, they looked at us, we didn't really interact, and then they just kind of turned around and swam away. So the Russians, resurface, the Navy divers, and they tell their commander what they saw. And the commander's like, you got to capture one of these creatures.
Right.
So they send them back down. So these, again, 7 divers go back into the lake in an attempt to capture one of these creatures. And they said the creatures found them again. They kind of came and made contact again. They're just kind of looking at them.
Right. Just curious.
Yeah. And so they tried to snare one.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Poor mermaid.
And they were unsuccessful in snaring one.
Right.
But then they probably just pissed it off.
You are correct. So then they say that a creature pointed a device at them, and they suddenly felt this whirlwind that sent them forcefully to the surface.
Like Trident.
Yeah.
And they had enough decompression chambers on the shore for 4 divers, but not 7.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
So 3 of them died of the bends or decompression sickness. I was going to tell you all what the bends is, but Kate has been dying to share her
It's
knowledge.
just when nitrogen, you come up too quickly and the nitrogen overloads you.
Where does the nitrogen come from?
Atmosphere.
Oh. So just the air.
Yeah.
So the rapid nitrogen or the rapid pressure change causes nitrogen bubbles to form in your body's tissues and bloodstream.
Oh, that's so terrible.
This can lead to obstruction of blood flow, nerve damage, and you can have symptoms ranging from joint pain to pulmonary embolism and death. And so 3 of these divers died as a result.
Oh my God.
And then the entire event allegedly was covered up and classified
Mechanical circulatory failure.
until 2009. Interestingly, 2 years after this happened, they built a special base where dives were conducted by the Ministry of Internal Affairs and the Ministry of Emergency Situations.
The Ministry of Magic.
The town was...
Mermaids.
So this town was founded again in 1984, 2 years after this whole event happened.
Okay.
They're like, we've never had a single death of a diver. We know what you're talking about. But I'm like, well, why did you build a base
Right.
so quickly after this event happened?
Right.
And also, likely story, no one's ever died. It's never happened.
Right.
Because it was all classified.
Right.
How would you know?
So the theories we can talk about here was, one of my thoughts was mermaids.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I got mermaids, we got ET, we got some other animals we can talk about. So you're thinking mermaids. Well, here's the thing.
ET phone home.
Here's the picture that is described.
Yeah, that looks like a freaking mermaid.
You know what's weird though about the mermaid is like the mermaid theory.
Looks like a squid.
It's like, what's up with that head?
It's part squid.
Yeah.
They could be wearing a hat.
I mean, do we think mermaids actually look like part human?
I think that mermaids do not look as human-like as we think.
But that's where I'm like, that's a mermaid.
Okay. That was kind of what I was thinking as well. It'd be interesting to hear what Mermaid Girl thinks of this. But I don't have any literature or anything to support that. It's just the fact that also I like to think mermaids probably would want to be in warmer water.
I don't know, actually.
Maybe they like how much oxygen is down there.
Yeah, they could probably stay down longer.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting take. And then like the obvious other possibility is extraterrestrials, which I feel like I've kind of talked about. Like this does just seem to be an area that has a lot of USO activity.
That's true too.
And we talked at length last year about why wouldn't they live in the ocean? Why do we think they have to live? And so those are some theories. Here are some other theories if we're getting a little less kind of paranormal conspiracy, okay?
Right.
So some people think this could be a Nerpa seal.
Nerpa.
So the Nerpa seal, so let me tell you about them.
That does not look like a...
This is a species of seal that is only found in Lake Baikal. Like no one even knows how this creature got to the lake to begin with. We just have this tectonic split and suddenly we have these seals. Okay. They have been there for over 2 million years.
Oh my gosh.
They tend to hug the shore when the lake ice melts, and they're known to be very curious. They'll approach boats and divers. They have a silvery coat with a very shiny abdomen.
Mm-hmm.
They can dive to 1,300 feet, and they can stay submerged for up to 40 minutes. So people are like, so cute. He looks like a little alien.
Oh my gosh.
So the thought is, like, did they see... Is this what they saw? Did they see a Nerpa seal and they panicked and they thought it was extraterrestrial?
Like, what other creatures are in the lake?
But then, like, how did it, like, point something at them and, like...
Play with things in the water?
Yeah, but, like, they claim they were, like, propelled.
Yeah. Well, I will say that some of the theories are, like, if they saw one of these animals and mistook it, did they panic? And then they ascended too quickly and they were too embarrassed to be like, we're expert divers and we ascended too quickly and got the bends.
Right.
So instead they kind of like
made a story
altered the story a little bit.
But were all of their stories the same, or was there someone with just like who was like the designated story guy? And
well then, why did they keep it secret?
Well, they said that their stories were all the same, but after this event happened and everything was classified, no one ever spoke of it again because they were too traumatized.
Wow.
Okay. So here's my counter to the thought that it could be a Nerpa seal. We all agree that Nerpa seal does not look like the picture I showed you.
Clearly, that's a seal.
It does not have. Right. It does have like a very shiny, silvery skin, which like so that could explain them thinking these.
But didn't they say they were like tall and long?
Bingo.
That's a wolf.
So these
not long.
So the seals, there's about 80,000 to 100,000 in this lake. Sightings are very common. So this is not something that they were like these divers would have seen them.
They would have used to seeing.
Yes, they wouldn't just be like whatever. The seals are 3.5 to 4.5 feet long and 150 pounds. The largest that was ever found was only half the height of these swimmers that they reported seeing. So, and again, this like umbrella helmet looking thing, I don't know how they got that from a seal. So that's one of the things people like, they just saw a seal, they saw a seal. I don't believe it.
Right.
You guys with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it another creature? There's the Lusud Khan, which is also known as the Baikal monster or the water dragon monster.
Oh.
It is pretty much Russia's Loch Ness monster.
Oh.
Now, this is a monster with a prominent snout and armored plates along its back. So there have been multiple sightings reported, and there's a lot of legends from the Buryots, which are like the indigenous people in this area. But there is no proof of its existence. People think that instead maybe they've been seeing the Baikal sturgeon, which is a local fish, which I'm going to tell you about. But like these fish, again, are just like very large because of the oxygen content. And so maybe people have just been like misidentifying this.
Right.
Anyway, the Baikal monster, again, we have no proof of it exists. That could be a whole other episode on itself when you do your Loch Ness monster coverage, maybe.
Yeah.
But I would say the description that they're describing, again, does not sound like the description that the divers reported.
No.
And then, again, just me, I was telling you that all of these animals are like gigantic. Not all of them. Like the high oxygen content lends to gigantism amongst the sea creatures.
Right.
So the two big examples are the Baikal sturgeon. The Baikal sturgeon can be 7 feet long at 100 kilograms.
Oh my
God.
They generally live at about 40 meters. They'll go down to 150 in certain weather. So that could match up with like the depth of the site.
You have
But
a
it looks
picture
like
of
a
them?
fish.
I do.
Let me see.
This does not look like a
But
human
again,
creature.
Yes, I don't think that site.
I'm committed to mermaids.
Either mermaids or aliens.
No, it's definitely not that. But that does have a dome-like quality to it.
It
But
doesn't look like it's got an umbrella on its head.
yeah.
No. And it
doesn't
just
look
has
like
a
it
weird
was-
mouth.
Yeah. It's
So-
like a platypus.
So, again, these are just what all the people online are like, oh, that's what they saw. Okay. And then there's also an oil fish, the Golomianka fish. This is another one that comes up as like maybe that's what they saw. This I don't even understand how people made that leap because this is another fish that is only found in Lake Baikal. So it's an oil fish. It is known. It's like completely see-through. It doesn't have any bones. It has a pink pearly body, completely transparent. Apparently, you can read a book through it.
Whoa.
The depth is appropriate, but these is like a tiny fish.
It's very tiny. It's like the
That's
size of a
not what they
goldfish.
saw. It's see-through.
Yeah, and they're saying this is actually like this is a small fish that is pretty much the fish that every other creature in this ocean lives on. I just don't know how you would see a little fish like that and be like, oh my God, it was a 10-foot
Right.
extraterrestrial.
No
Right.
way.
Does not make any sense.
There's no way it was mermaids.
So I do not believe it was one of these creatures that people are claiming. So
mermaids.
I'm still in mermaids or ET.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't think anything of like a shared hallucination or meant to be.
I mean, when you have pressure poisoning, does it also affect your head?
I'm so happy you asked.
I wouldn't disregard that, but I just want to believe in mermaids.
Because again, this goes back to like, did they have a shared hallucination and they panicked? Kind of like if they saw this animal, did they panic and surface and then they were too embarrassed to say that that was an amateur move?
Right.
Yeah. So you can get nitrogen narcosis.
Yeah.
And when you dive, the increased pressure compresses the nitrogen in the breathing gas, leading to a narcotic effect, which can impair, it's like when they give you nitrogen for anesthesia.
Yeah.
So this can impair cognitive function and cause symptoms like poor concentration, confusion, and potentially hallucination.
I'm going to choose to believe in mermaids.
Okay. Well, here's the last point for you. I hate to do this.
Don't ruin the mermaids.
I hate to debunk like the third episode in a row of our seasonal.
Come on.
Of our seasonal.
Tomato. I'm throwing tomatoes at you.
I know, but what does it mean? You don't like what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
Okay.
boring.
Yeah.
Throw the rotten fruit.
So can we go back to the story? The story that circulates is that this Baikal swimmer story came to light with the release of the official 2009 declassified documents. In fact, there are reputable news sources that reported on this story.
Before?
After 2009.
Okay.
Like about like, oh, we've had all these
Incidents.
declassified, and one of
Right.
the stories we heard was this one. But here's the truth.
Okay.
While there was a release of information in 2009 regarding the Russian UFO USO sightings, the extent was exaggerated. The release did not constitute a complete or official declassification, and I could not find any evidence that this particular story was included in those 2009
Is all made up.
documents. Well, that's the question.
Oh.
The story has been largely propagated by Russian ufologist Vladimir Ajaja.
Vladimir.
There we go. I've been waiting for an accent.
Yeah.
He is a former Soviet submariner and expert on underwater research, and he's also a prominent Russian UFO expert until his death in 2018. A ufologist, if you will.
I'd want to be that when I grow up.
He served as chairman of the All-Union Commission for the Study of Unidentified Flying Objects, of the Union of Scientific and Engineering Societies, and was on the editorial board of NLO, a Russian magazine about ufology, paranormal phenomena, and history. So while he is one of the most famous UFO researchers, he has also been accused of exaggerating and outright falsifying.
He's got to be a little bit crazy.
Mm-hmm. For example, he reported that a co-pilot involved in a UFO encounter experienced, quote, serious mental derangement, and that his brain's encephalogram was not of an earthly character. And then people were like, you have no proof of this. What are you talking about? This story doesn't even make sense. So skeptics argue that many UFO sightings, including those investigated by Ajaja and others, can be attributed to more mundane explanations like a rocket testing. So there's like another Russian who was like, honestly, I think about 90% of the UFO sightings that are reported can be nullified. Yeah, like we can explain them and they're not necessarily extraterrestrial.
It's just the military doing stuff and not telling you.
Yeah, all kinds of things. That's a big one. But yeah, lots of potential explanations. But this guy, Vladimir Ajaja, says 50% of UFO encounters are connected with oceans, and 15%, in addition to that, are associated with lakes. So UFOs tend to stick to the water, which again we already bought into.
Right.
We agree with that.
So
the point is that
uncharted territory people.
The guy who published the story in a book and who's been kind of telling, well, now he's dead, but who've been telling the story is not a super reputable source. We also know that this
are not trust Vladimir.
Yeah. This story has been that was good.
That was good.
This story has been being circulated since before 2009. Which again doesn't, well, maybe that's because it's real, I don't know. But in 2016, there was a book published, Russia's UFO Secrets, and it states that this story was actually told by a senior officer who was visiting a training exercise in Kyrgyzstan, and he was trying to teach a lesson about like the risks of decompression, and so that's why he told the story. And so was this all just like
this is like a fabricated story. It's like a fable.
A fable, yeah. But what is I get the point of like, here's what could happen if you surface too quickly. But why would he?
But why would he come up with that?
Yeah, like these divers weren't stupid. If it happened like it said, then they were victims of these extraterrestrials. So why would he like make up that part of the story if he's trying to teach about the risks of the bends? So I'm not sure what the lesson is regarding the alien beings. So that's really what I have. The question is this all a myth? Did they have we don't think it was another animal. Do we think it was a mermaid? Do we think it was an extraterrestrial?
Or do we think it's just a story?
Do we think they were hallucinating from their nitrogen poisoning?
I'm going to go with mermaids.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
What do you think? Extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
I'm on the extraterrestrial. Because
Katy Perry?
Well, I don't know. I'm just like, if not that mermaids couldn't have this technology, but like, I just keep going back to the like, like the
device
shot something at them that like propelled them up.
Well, I think also what is important to note here is that we've already established that we think aliens are not here to harm us, that maybe they're studying us, maybe they're looking for a resource, right? That's right. That's our personal decision we've come to. And I feel like it's important to note that these alien beings were not aggressive until someone tried to snare them. Right. They had multiple encounters in which they just kind of looked at each other.
Right.
Observing.
Yes.
Well, and that's my question is like going back to the hallucination, like they all had the same hallucination.
Yeah, no, they'd all be a little bit weird.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What if they were experimented on and this is what they left behind in their brains?
Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe they were just given LSD before they went down.
Yeah. I think unknown creature, mermaid, or alien.
Mm-hmm.
That's my theory.
I mean, I think more like it's a nonsensical story, but
no, Megan.
Of course, you think it's nonsensical.
No,
but if we say the story really happened, then my money is on extraterrestrials. And again, why else? Like, this is a perfect location for a little alien colony. It's super cold, super deep. They're like, we don't even have that technology that can really dive down to the bottom of. We have limited technology that can really
get down.
And you know what also is super cold like that?
What?
Space.
Well, I mean, but maybe they're not even. Maybe they've been down there for 2 million years. For 20 million years. Maybe they've been on there for millions of years.
Well,
Maybe that's their whole. Maybe they were born. Maybe they came here millions
Maybe they're born-
before we were here,
Right.
and they've just been living down there in the ocean.
Scientologists.
Whoa.
Those are the Scientologists. The
The Mormons.
the head of the Scientology.
What? That we're all aliens were here first?
Yeah, that's what Scientologists are saying, right? That's what they believe.
It's like
Aliens
the
dropped
aliens
us off.
connect to our brains or something like
No,
that.
aliens dropped us off.
But then the reason why they donate money has to do with like upgrading levels to then connect to the alien mothership or something like that.
You're right. 75 million years ago, Xenu brought billions of
Yeah,
people to
Xenu.
Earth
Yeah.
and killed them with hydrogen bombs. You think mermaid?
Yeah, come on, Megan.
Kate
Fun-
thinks ET.
Yeah, E.T.
I
fun,
think
Megan.
Phone home.
probably a made up story, but I do. Lake Baikal is really creeping me out. I thought that was fascinating. It was just like reading about this lake, and I think that there's probably other stories from this lake that might pop up in future episodes. So,
Or even the Great Lakes somewhere.
well, the Great Lakes is on our
Yeah.
Google Doc as well to cover the Great Lakes.
All right, that's all.
All right. So, Kate. Guys, just a reminder, don't forget to check out our Facebook and Instagram pages at 3 Scheme Queens. That's the number 3 Scheme Queens, all one word. We're also on Reddit, same username. If you want to check out our website, go to 3schemequeens.com and you can find links to our social media accounts, our Buzzsprout page, all of our episodes, additional content, our contact page, and our discussion board where you can engage with us and share any updates on the topics that we have discussed. Let us know how we're doing and what you want to hear next. There are also opportunities to financially support us. There are links to buy us a cup of coffee, links to our recently updated merch store, and affiliate links. And as always, if you choose not to financially support us, we appreciate the follows, the downloads, listens, the likes. Kate, what should the people do?
Yeah. I'm gonna do what Colleen did 2 episodes ago. So yeah, I'm like, I do not sound like that. Scroll on down. Leave us a 5-star.
Now, leave us a 5-star review.
Definitely don't have that.
I don't have a twang like that. What I want you to do is I want you to take out your phone right now.
Right.
And send this to 3 people who have
Mhm.
expressed interest in plate tectonics, volcanoes, and or earthquakes.
Right.
Yes. Strike slip fault. You could also send it to your Californian friends who live on a strike slip fault line, aka the San Andreas fault line.
Right.
And everyone thinks that California is just going to break off, but they're not going to break off. They're actually just going to slide towards Canada.
Whoa.
Which is fine with me too.
No loss.
Yeah.
I'm not going to include that.
And send it to them, and then scroll on down, leave us a 5-star review, leave us a comment, share us with your friends and family, share us on your social media platforms, interact with us on Instagram, and yeah.
All right. Sounds good. And we will see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Tuesday.